What's up, everybody? So I want to talk about Halloween Kills again, and talk about the kills in the movie. It's been out for a week now. I'm sure a lot of people have already seen it now, so I can talk about my thoughts on the kills of the movie. So the first ones that happen are when he comes out of the fire at Laurie's house, and the fire department's there to greet him. That reveal they did of Michael inside of that metal door and the firefighter on the floor. So awesome, man. That music that plays with it, it's like, hell yeah, this movie's gonna be awesome. And it's already just in your face, blood and gore. The second firefighter that's reaching for the one that fell, take my hand. You don't see what happens to him. Then the rest of the fire department are standing outside, and that one dude's like, what is that? And you see Michael kind of just coming out of the shadow of the doorway. And he has that axe thing in his hand, and he two hands it, and just like, I'm ready to go. I'm pissed off. I'm ready to do this. And he slowly walks towards them, and then he takes them all down in like what, 5 seconds. It's like, hell yeah, man! This movie is what I personally have always wanted in a Halloween movie. I mean, yeah, Rob Zombie's was pretty brutal, pretty bloody, but Michael doing all that sound when he was killing them, I was like, that's not needed. You don't need that. Michael wouldn't do that. But anyway, back to Halloween Kills. He kills all them in like 5 seconds, and they're done. And then Michael, does what Michael does. He continues. The next two are the couple in the house, the old man and the lady. And that scene has the best quote in the movie, where the guy's like, "Hey Sandra, there's a big fella in our bathroom, and he's wearing a monster mask." And she goes, "What the fuck does he want? Who gives a shit? Call the cops." And as soon as he's walking towards her, Michael grabs him through the window and just slams his head against the wall. And I was like, oh wow, kind of a call back to 2018 with the British dude getting slammed into the bathroom stall. But then he takes it a step further and puts his thumb right through here, right through his jugular, as he's pulling him through the broken window. And then the guy's wife is trying to get out the door. She grabs a knife and doesn't even try to get away, which is surprising to me, but paralyzed by fear. That's what it is. Paralyzed by fear. You're so afraid you can't move. And that's a real thing. And he's looking at her. He's just staring her down, waiting for her to do something. And I guess he's like, well, she's not going to. So he kind of glances over like that, walks over, and grabs the light bulb out of the oven, the top of the oven, and jams it straight through her throat. And I was like, oh, damn. And you see it go in, you see the blood squirting out and shit. It's cool. And then her husband, she has to lay there. She can't move. She's dying slowly. And she has to watch Michael stab her husband with, I don't know, 7 different knives. Then there's the last one he picks up. It's like, oh, he's gonna make it 8? No, he keeps that one. Walks on out of the house. I was like, man, the kills in this movie are so brutal. Like, he's just so unforgiving. And it's like he wants the town of Haddonfield to suffer. That's what he wants to happen. And that's what he's gonna make happen. And then the next kills, I wanna say were Marion, the nurse, and then the nurse guy and the doctor lady. That one was hilarious to me. So, for Marion, it's basically Michael's classic stab her until she's dead. And I was like, well, yeah, he's got to put that in the movie. I mean, that's Michael's trademark. And then the black guy, the doctor guy, This is probably the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen someone try to do to him. Takes his stethoscope off of his neck there and tries to choke Michael out with it. And he's pulling on it. You can see it like he's pulling with some force, trying to make cut his airway off. And Michael just turns his head and looks right at him, stabs him right through the eye. And you see the blood shoot out and hit Michael's mask on the side. And then it's like he doesn't die immediately, and you kind of see the dying moments of him. But his wife, while this is all happening, his wife climbs out of the SUV they're in. And I'm like, what is she doing? Is she gonna run away? But no. And she starts shooting at Michael with a Desert Eagle. What I'm assuming is 50 BMG Desert Eagle. 50 caliber. And she's hitting the car. And I was like, this girl, like, if you're gonna shoot at someone that's trying to hurt you, wouldn't you want to be accurate with your shot? Don't shoot the whole car up, you're wasting your ammo. And she gets almost a clear bead on Michael. She starts to pull the trigger, and Michael hits the car door, and it smacks the gun. She shoots herself right in the eye. And I thought that was the most hilarious thing that anyone could have put in a movie for a slasher flick. I was like, wow, man, that's pretty original. That's pretty original. Like, man. And let's see, what else we got? Okay, there's the couple that lives in the Myers house. And they notice, after Michael knocks on the front and back door, kind of like a prank. One goes to the front door, the other guy goes to the back door. And they're looking for Michael after they realize there's someone in our house and it's not a child. They're looking for Michael separately throughout the house. And I was like, well, that's your first mistake. It's going to make it easy. And you never, in horror movies, as most of us know, you never split up. That's the rule. But the one guy, he gets stabbed right up under the armpit. And it kind of locks him in place, and he's like, oh, freaking out. And then he pulls the knife out of him, grabs him, and crushes his eye sockets in. And you see it. I mean, they're not hiding it in this movie. And I was like, wow, that's Jason territory right there. And then the other guy, his husband, which this is a homosexual couple, but you don't see what happens to him. And I wish we did, just because they've shown all this other brutality. Why cut that? But you do see the aftermath. And then there's also Lonnie, Cameron's dad. Now you don't see what happens to him, but Cameron finds him up in the crawl space. And Michael, he looks up, sees his dad up there dead, and Michael storms out of that closet and attacks him. And that kill is bloodless. There's no blood in it, but it's so brutal. The way he's like slamming him into the grating of the staircase. Almost can't talk. The staircase, and he's like hitting him straight into it first, and then to the right, to the left, up, breaking his back, and then slams him straight down. After Allison commands, "Come and get me," he looks over at her and kind of tilts his head. And to make sure Cameron doesn't go anywhere while he's going down after Allison, he slams him down. And it's I've always thought, ever since I've seen that kill, that it paralyzed him. And then he stands there for a minute before Allison commands some more, come and get me. And then he starts down the stairs. He starts walking towards the stairs and starts down the stairs after her. But before he does, he grabs Cameron by the head, and I thought he was going to rip his head off. And I was like, whoa, this is going to be the most brutal kill so far. But no, he just snaps his neck. It's like he let Cameron lay there and suffer like that with all the pain that he would be in after something like that. He let him suffer like that. And then, I'll end your suffering before I kill your girlfriend. So he breaks his neck. And then there's Allison's mom at the end, which I don't believe she's really dead. I don't believe she is. I don't believe she will be. I believe that they'll find a way to patch her up because there's paramedics and things outside the house to begin with for the next movie. But now, I want to talk about probably the coolest section of the whole movie, where Karen stabs Michael with the pitchfork, takes his mask off, and says, if you want your mask, come and get it. And he chases her unmasked. He chases her, she leads him to the street. And his mask is laying there, and he looks at the mask. And he walks up to get it. And the mob, the townspeople, close in on him. And then Sheriff Brackett, the same actor from the first movie, quotes his iconic line, "Hey Michael, it's Halloween, and everyone's entitled to one good scare." And then that music kicks in where he bends down and picks up the mask and puts it on. And then the townspeople, they start to hit him with all the things they brought, all the weapons they brought. They hit him, beat him with them. One dude shoots him six or seven times, and he hits the ground. And they continue to wail on him some more. And I was like, oh man, is this how they're going to kill him for this movie? Because this don't make no sense. That ain't going to do nothing to him. And then Karen picks up his butcher knife and stabs him straight down into the spine. And I was like, well, he should be paralyzed. No way he can get up, right? But it's Michael Myers, man. Come on. You really think that's going to work? And I was thinking as I was watching it, what if he just slaughtered them all after all that? And that's exactly what happened. As soon as Brackett comes over with his revolver to shoot him, he yanks that knife out of his spine and cuts his throat. And Tommy is in complete shock at what he is seeing. Because he was talking a pretty big game throughout the movie, I'm going to swing old Huckleberry here and say night-night. Say night-night. And I was like, what? Really? A baseball bat? Come on, dude. Lindsay hits him in the face with a bag of bricks twice. And what did it do? Just turn his head a little bit. She somehow survived, and there's that part where she's hiding up under that whatever that was, and he's standing there listening for her. I know he had to hear her, but I don't know how she survived. They never showed that part. But then the mob, he kills them all. And I watched the kill count. From what I can tell, it's like 20 people in about 10 seconds. And this is the first Halloween that Michael did not die at the end. But man, the kills are so good. And they're so brutal. Awesome. And I don't want to sit here and think, or make people think, oh, I praise violence. I praise all that stuff. It's awesome, right? No, it's not that. It's more of, being a gore fan. We know how it all works. We know how they create this stuff. And it's not really happening. Like, some people in this world will watch a movie and think, like, oh yeah, I can do what Michael Myers does because it's real. No, it's not. And it's all special effects. And it's all part of the slasher flick. That's what they're about. Killing, blood, and gore. And what interesting ways are these characters going to get knocked off one by one? Now, if this is my theory, or my opinion, I should say. If this was real, and Michael was real, that whole town the whole mob would have been knocked off immediately. Everybody would have been dead. There would have been no movie. And I heard someone else speak on that before too. Some other fans I've talked to, they're like, "Yeah, man, they'd all be just wiped out immediately." Michael enjoys the chase. He enjoys, playing with his victims, letting them suffer like Cameron did. Stuff like that. It's just really cool. And there's one other section of the film that I didn't discuss in my review of the movie or thoughts on the movie because I didn't want to spoil nothing. But that whole scene with the escaped mental patient in the hospital and the whole hospital's chasing the guy. Like, what? What is the point of that scene? And he commits suicide. I actually felt bad for this character in this movie. When I first watched it, I was like, man, that's sad. Why are y'all gonna run down someone that you're not even sure is Michael Myers? Like, why would you do that and force them to kill themselves to get away? And then Brackett says, after they find him down on the ground, it's not him. And Tommy says, he always wears a mask. How do we know it's not him? Because Michael wears blue coveralls. He doesn't wear the white suit that the mental patients wear, and he does always wear his mask. You will never see him unmasked. Even in the movie when they had him unmasked near the end, you never saw his face really. They really did keep it quite concealed. Except for some areas where you can see the wound right here, the burns, and his eye that's kind of malformed. From the clothes hanger that Jamie Lee stabs him with in the original movie. But I just never understood the point of that scene. Maybe it was just so that they could kind of show how Michael has turned the town into monsters, like Brackett said. That's just my thought. I don't know. But that's what I wanted to talk about. And I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to see the movie, if you haven't seen it yet, I hope I didn't spoil anything, but go watch it anyway. I can tell you this, when you go watch a horror movie in theaters, it is a different experience than sitting and watching it in the comfort of your own home. Because I read a comment on YouTube today about the mob scene at the end where Michael kills them all. This guy said when that music started and he bent down to pick that mask up and he put that mask on, the whole theater erupted with cheering. Cheering and high-fiving each other, stuff like that. That's what horror films are all about. When you go into a horror movie in the theater, there's a collective catharsis. Everyone's there for the same reason. Because of the love of the movie, the love of Michael Myers, and the love of how all the kills come together, how they are, how they work. And it's just great fun. And there's no greater experience in the theater than a horror movie. So I hope everyone enjoyed this. And this is probably going to be the last video I do on the Halloween Kills movie. I probably won't talk about it no more. But I'm going to a Halloween party next weekend that my sister's hosting. And I'm going to be the Halloween Kills Michael Myers. I've got the blue coveralls. They're not burned, unfortunately. I could blowtorch them, but nah, I ain't gonna do that. I have a knife that's from 2018 movie, and I have the mask. And I'll try to get her to maybe take a video of me in it, or take some pictures, and I can try to post them somewhere, or put it up on YouTube. Everyone take care of yourselves out here, and go see the movie. If you've seen it once, go see it again. I did for 2018, man. I went and saw it twice. I would go see this one in theaters, but I work so much that it's really hard for me to go because I'm always tired when I get home. So everyone take care, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video.